It was so stressful, but it is the only reason that I am able to shoot in manual for everything I do now.
Hey guys, welcome to Prime Focus, the podcast where I do a deep dive into the minds of other photographers. And the chosen photographer for today is Paige Rivero. Hey Paige, how's it going?
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. I'm going to give the guys a bit of a back history in like how we first met prior to you kind of explaining who you are. I had just started Twitch streaming my edits, and I think like I can't remember if it was like the first or the second time I streamed, you were in my like stream.
I didn't realize it was that early
It was
on.
so early
Oh my
because
goodness.
it was all to do with like I think like a couple of people came into my stream that were like part of that like bigger collective of like
Yeah.
photographers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I think it was the second stream because after the first stream, I had been added to that Discord, and so I just posted in there like, "Hey, no one knows who I am, but I'm gonna do a live stream."
Yeah.
And then it's because of like that group and yourself, I made like affiliate in like a couple of weeks or something
Yeah.
ridiculous
The same thing
in like
happened
a
with
couple of
me.
streams.
Yeah. After I did one stream editing on like sharing my Lightroom and stuff. And I think it was the same guy that found me. And the same thing, like within not even 2 months, it was like a month, I hit affiliate. And I was so surprised, like that community is so strong.
And now neither of us Twitch stream anymore.
No.
Good effort, us.
Yeah,
We've
you too,
streamed
you too.
before. We streamed of all things as two photographers would. We streamed
Yes.
Stardew Valley
I mean, what else are you
together.
gonna stream?
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, we've got nothing else that we could have
We
possibly
just
streamed about.
have to take care of that farm.
Yeah, that farm's been abandoned for some time.
Yeah, poor thing.
We'll just start again now. Scrap this video off. Back into
Yeah.
Stardew. Thumbs
Oh,
up.
put up Stardew and we'll talk over Stardew.
That would be
Anyway.
a first. That would be a first. Talking of firsts, I said to you just before, congrats, you are the first lady on
Thank you.
podcast and the first person outside of the UK on the podcast.
Thank you.
So congratulations. Can't take first American. Chris has already taken that.
That's okay.
But otherwise, 2 crowns. Congratulations. So tell the people a bit more about yourself and like what you do.
So I am a behind-the-scenes photographer on commercials and film sets. And then I'm also a creative director at my own company that I own with my husband. Um, on top of that, I'm also a social media manager for my church. So I'm kind of dabbling in a little bit of everything. But it's
Well,
a fun time.
you're wearing many different hats.
Yes. Many different crowns, we can say that.
Yeah, exactly. You had 3 before, you've gained 2 on this podcast. Congratulations. So my like favorite first question to ask people on this podcast, I think I've asked every single person so far, is like what got you into photography and also what was like your first camera?
Okay, so I first picked up a camera when I was probably 8 years old. And it was just some crappy little point and shoot, big digital screen on the back, super blurry, difficult time to use. But it started because my grandmother, she had a garden in her backyard, and she wanted photos of her flowers that she grew so that she could post them on Facebook so that all of her friends could see her flowers that she was growing.
That's
And
amazing.
she didn't want to go out and take them, or maybe she was just trying to like get me out of the house. I don't know. But I loved it. It was always like really fun to go and take those photos for her. It was something that meant a lot to her. So it meant a lot to me to be able to do that for her. And then in high school, I was able to take a photography class. It was offered through the school. And my teacher, Mr. Loker, he really pushed me when it came to photography. And like, I think he's a really, really big reason why I stuck with it. because I don't think I would have. I think I would have dropped it, and it just been like nothing, like a little. I don't even know if it would have been a side hobby if Floker hadn't pushed me. So that's where it all started. Um, and it always just kept growing. Like in college, I had a really amazing professor that did the same thing, really pushed me and helped me learn like my style and proper technique and stuff like that. So I assume it will be with me forever because of those people.
That's awesome. That is the cutest start to photography like conversation that I have had so far. Like every other person's just been like, "Oh, I just the first camera I ever used, I got in a photography class," or
uh,
"Oh, I just found one in the house and went outside and started taking photos." You're like, "My gran wanted photos of her flowers so she could show her friends on Facebook, and so I took photos of them and realized I like it."
it was a really good time. I mean, how are you supposed to tell her no? No,
Yeah,
grandma,
I mean
I
you
don't want
can't
to go take your photos for you.
you can't say no to grandparents. That's like the
No,
one set of people you cannot say no to.
exactly.
So did you say that was that your first camera, or were you using her camera,
I was
or
using her camera. So the first camera that I had for myself was a Nikon D3200.
okay, yeah,
Got the red one. It was fun. But that was like I think I got it for Christmas, maybe freshman year of high school. Um, it was really nice for the time. But eventually I sold that one and got what did I go to? I think I stayed on Nikon for a little bit and I never went to Canon. I don't know how you feel about Canon, but
so I mean, I have. Do I have? Just looking at my cameras.
you have so many cameras, so I would
I do.
expect you to have at least one.
I can't. Oh, it's weird. I've cut the selection down. I've got 9 working cameras. 2 are film. One's
Okay.
like an SLR 35 mil. I showed this on another podcast, but I'm going to show it to you because it's a really cool camera.
Okay.
Um, Another camera is here, and it shoots 110 film, and I haven't shot it yet, but I know it works, and I cannot wait because I'm going to feel like a bloody spy when I shoot it. This is the camera,
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
and when you pop like the flash out to the
Yeah.
side. Like I can't wait. I
That's
have
so
film
fun.
sitting in my fridge ready for me to use it,
I love
and I
that.
just haven't used it yet.
I expect to see
um,
a video on that.
oh, you will. You
Okay.
absolutely will. There's
Okay.
no way that's not getting done. I'm going to be sneaking around taking photos of everyone like James Bond. Absolutely, it's going to be a video on that. But yeah, I don't think I have any. That's a Minolta. I have a Nikon or a Nikon for my film camera.
Oh,
Um,
Nikon.
Nikon for you. I've got a Ricoh, 2
Okay.
Fujis, 2 Sonys. Yeah, I don't think I have a Canon at the moment.
No Canons. I've never done
No.
Canon. I currently shoot on
Hmm.
Fujifilm X-T3.
Nice.
Um, I love that camera so much. My husband has the X-T4 because it's a little better for video capabilities, and that's what he mainly does.
Mhm.
And I just, for some reason, hate that one. It's the 3 for me. I did rent the XT5 for a, summer camp. Uh, Basically, I shot like photo and video for my church summer camp, but they let me rent the XT5. It was really nice. I didn't like the hand feel on it. Like for some reason, it felt a little different. I don't know if it was the lens that I was using, maybe throwing the weight off, but photos were beautiful. But there's something about like my camera, like my X-T3 that
Yeah.
just nothing beats it. But maybe if
Yeah.
mine was an XT5 and I wasn't renting it, maybe I would feel that way about that.
I get exactly what you mean. Like, there's there's something about like the tactile feel of a camera that like whether it's the right camera for you or not before you've even
Yeah,
like seen what it produces.
totally.
Um, I I had never felt that way about a camera at all until I got my first like proper Fuji, and that was the original X100. So
Mm,
it's like what 10, 15 years old, and that is my favorite camera to shoot. Like I've got my A7 III that I use as like my main camera, loads of lenses, the ZV-10 which I'm filming on now, a bunch of other stuff up there. But if I had to get rid of everything and keep one camera, I'd keep that X100 because
yeah.
when I shoot with it, like when it's in my hand, I feel creative. Like I feel like I'm going to get good photos, and everything else just feels I don't know. Like I feel it a little bit. I picked up the X half, and I kind of enjoy it a little bit there. But I think that's just because my brain's like it looks like a cute mini version of the X100.
Totally.
Um, but I put a grip on that, and that has like a really similar feel to it. And I put in the same shutter button that I have on the X100, like trying to
Mhm.
mimic it as much as possible, but half the size.
Right.
And yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Like that X100, I don't want to upgrade that one. I like that one.
Yeah,
It's my camera.
it works perfectly good. It's, I don't know, it's like a homey feel to once you find your camera. It's like,
Yeah,
this is my safe space for my camera. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah, yeah. It does. Yeah, you like when I pick this camera up, I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I know where
Totally.
everything is. I know I'm in control of what I'm shooting. And
Mhm.
then when you take a new camera, even if it's the same brand, sometimes just buttons are in the wrong place or the menu's a little bit off, and you're
Mhm.
like, I don't know now.
Yeah. At the church, we have you have the capability to serve if you want. So if you feel like your desire is to serve the church in production, you can do that. So we have some people that start as early as middle school who say, "Hey, I'm really interested in serving as a photographer." So then I help them learn how to use a camera. It's like mini lessons. It's really fun. But the church uses Sony's and they do have a Canon, and it's so weird, I guess, every time I have to teach somebody how to use the camera because I have to relearn myself how to use
Yeah,
that particular brand because I'm so used to my Fuji. And then I
yeah.
feel like when I'm teaching them, I'm like, I swear I know what I'm doing. The buttons are just in the wrong spot. The camera is just wrong. I promise.
I have taken a photo before.
I
I
know.
promise.
It's like, we'll put it in auto for right this second, and I'll just teach you the ideas of how to take a photo,
Yeah,
framing, and all
yeah,
that stuff. And then we'll get to the how to shoot in manual.
yeah. That's the thing. Like, I love my Sony's for stuff like this, and for when I'm like shooting videos for other people, or I'm like just going out to get like really clinical photos that I like
Hmm.
know will be good. But if I wanted to take something that I feel like it's gonna have like feeling in it,
Hmm.
like I just feel like they're too new and too clean.
Yep.
And I mean, I half the cameras up there are like old. I have a camera from 1954 downstairs that I have put two rolls of film through. Like I loved shooting that film. It's a
Yeah.
foldable bellows camera. Like it's ridiculous. It
That's
has
pretty
two
cool, though.
settings. Yeah, you can shoot f11 or f16, and they got two options. That's all you get. And I'm like, I love that. I like why,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I understand why these cameras exist, but yeah, having that camera or those cameras that you just pick up and you just know,
Hmm.
best feeling.
Yeah.
Which leads perfectly onto a question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Um, you said about the XT3. What's your like current gear setup? Like, if you go out and you're shooting behind the scenes stuff, like what do you use? Have you got any accessories? What's the situation? Oh my god, it's right there.
It's right here. I never do anything other than this setup right here. Granted, I'll add a external flash
Hmm.
for fun if I'm just trying to have like a different look. But this is a 16 to 55 Fujinon lens.
Hmm.
I keep a star filter on here quite a lot of the time. That's specifically like I'm right now I'm shooting a lot for the church and I'm shooting a lot in students specifically. So like not on a Sunday, but on a Wednesday. So they get to have like a little bit more of a grungy fun feel because it's students. So
Hmm.
I've been keeping the star filter on a lot because of that. And it's kind of transitioned over into like my personal work as well. I don't know why. It's just it's not a this is a 8x 8 times star filter, so it's not like this 16, so it's not like giant stars. They're just like to go with the bokeh. It's just really fun. Um and then the XT3 Fujifilm XT3 as the body, and that is literally it. I'll throw an ND on sometimes if needed, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Hey, if it works, keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
It it makes me it makes me laugh. Like in the episodes I filmed, like some people are just like, okay, we're gonna need like an hour to go through my setup, and then they're like, I use this camera for this, I use this for this, I use this for this, and then like for example, Chris was like, I have this camera, this is my setup.
Literally.
Sometimes I use this
That's
lens,
it.
but otherwise it's this.
I do have another lens. It's not next to me, but I do have like a Prime 50. Um, it's a Zeiss Prime
Mhm,
50, and I love that one. I don't really know why I don't gravitate to it much anymore. I used to solely shoot on that Prime. Um, I loved it for portraits. Like it was exactly what I wanted. But as I like started transitioning more into behind the scenes photography, I've really enjoyed having a zoom capability.
mhm.
Um, I just I like to be in the shot from far away whenever I
Yeah.
can be. So having a prime kind of like dimmed that a little bit, and people were able to see me more
Mhm.
taking their photo, and I don't like that. I don't want to be seen. I want to be in the shadows. So it
That
makes it
makes
easier
sense.
for me to have the zoom.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to ask actually about is like kind of what that looks like for you when you're on set doing those like behind the scene photos because like I've I've seen some of your stuff obviously, but I've
I hope so.
never been yeah, I know you're just blocked on Instagram. I don't even look at your stuff. Yeah, I've never like I've never really spoken to anyone about like what that process is like what you do. You know what I mean? Like I get it in the smallest version of that. But like, yeah, what if you're going to shoot behind the scenes stuff for any form of commercially thing? Like, what does that look like for you?
So generally it just means that like there's two sides of it. So when I'm photographing, I will have two thoughts in my brain. One is document what's happening. Like at the very plainest to say it is ensure that you're photographing what is happening. I know that sounds kind of silly, but I can very easily get lost in the second half of it, which is finding like the small moments
Hmm.
within like if it's a portrait, it's a portrait. If it's hands grabbing a light, if it's like these small little details, that's my favorite. I love finding like the still in the calm, or like the still in the storm, you know?
Yeah,
So I forget to photograph the storm, the big picture going on sometimes. So
yeah,
as I'm on set, I have to remember to do both because it makes a difference, especially for the client. Like the client loves to have both because when you photograph the big picture, the storm, like that's best for them to be posting for, on their social medias and stuff. But they also love to have those quiet moments because that's stuff that they can send off to the people who were working on set, that they can
yeah,
have these individual photos of themselves and stuff like that. And as a photographer, and I feel like maybe you feel this way too, I don't have a lot of photos of myself, especially photos of myself working.
yeah.
So I love being able to give that to people.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
do 100% feel that. Like the photo that I use for my thumbnail and everything is a still as a still from a video that I shot of myself. Like I do not have any photos of me. I don't want to be the guy who has just the photo of him like with a camera to his face.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I that's the best I've got. And until I go out on a walk with someone and someone gets a great shot of me taking a photo, which never happens, I will just be that photo of me until I'm grey and old. I'll
Well,
be
one
like,
day we'll go out and we'll do a walk, and I'll take tons of photos, and you'll have too many of yourself.
that would be great.
You
That would
just
be
have to get
fantastic.
me across the water.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of us has to do a very long journey for that.
Yeah.
That would be a great photo walk, though. So, talking of taking photos, let's have a chat about the 3 photos you sent me.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell people how these 3 photos were chosen because I mentioned this to Eric earlier, who I
Okay.
filmed with earlier, but will come out after this one. Um, that you sent me like 15 to 20 photos and then was just like, you pick. I've narrowed it down to like 15 to 20. I'm not doing any more. You do the work. You made
You
me do
are
this.
calling me out right now.
I am. Yeah, you're getting fully called out.
Uh,
But the funniest thing was I did feel your pain a bit because like, oh, everyone complains to me. Everyone before or after go to me, bro. Why did you make me pick? And I'm
uh,
like, because we can't have a podcast where we just go through 100 of your photos. Like it will go on for a week.
but
We'd
there
have to
could
be
be
like, I'll
so
call you
many
back tomorrow.
stories. And we could I could call you back tomorrow. Like we could continue this.
we'll just we'll just do an episode every day for a week, just
Yes.
going through photos. But like, I think like 3 is just an easy number. Like, I think if you get no matter where you put it after like less than 10, everything is just hard, right? If I tell
Yeah,
you 5, you're going to struggle to pick 5. If I tell you 7, you're going to struggle to pick 7. So
it's true.
I'm just like 3, nice and easy. We can spend a bit of time just talking about each photo, good times. But every single person is like, secretly, I hate you. You're the worst. And I
Yeah.
got called out in the Eric episode by him. He was like, yeah. I was like, why did you make me do this? I'm like, I'm very sorry, but you do just have to do this. And so these are my 3 favorites of your 15 to 20 favorites. They've been double authenticated as favorite status.
Thank you.
So tell me about the first one. This man, beautiful black and white, great like streams of light coming behind, beautiful like kind of bokeh balls up behind him, this stream of light like kind of encasing him in the front. He's playing guitar, so he's a man after my own heart. Like, tell me about it.
So this is a shot from Psycho Jenny is the name of the band. They're friends of ours. We've done music videos for them and stuff already, but they opened for Waka Flocka Flame.
No, that's a
Uh,
mouthful. Yep.
yeah, do you know who Waka Flocka is?
That the name rings a bell like I have heard of them before.
Either way, they opened for him, and so this is just a shot from there. So I am using this exact camera rig, lens, all of it. I didn't have a starburst on. The haziness is like haze that they had on stage, and the like light that you pointed at in the bottom left that's like encasing him is actually just a light that happened to pass like one of the moving lights from
Oh yeah,
stage.
yeah, yeah,
It just
yeah.
happened to pass over perfectly, and it was being blocked by another like pole, so it didn't cover the entire lens, and it just looked, it was perfect. It was a perfect little swoop on the side. I have been shooting concerts like for so long. It's something that really helped my photography, like help me see like the small moments that I talked about, like these little moments within the big picture. I think when you're shooting a concert, like that is what you're looking for, is the random little moments when the singer is like actually not singing and they're doing something else. Like that
Yeah.
moment is the shot that you want. So you're watching like 4 to 5 people on stage and trying to photograph that and snag that little
Yeah.
second. Kenny is the guitarist here. He has the perfect hair. Okay, this is one of a few shots, and they like came into session right after this. He like whipped his hair forward, and like it is so cool. But this one in particular I love, and I always choose this one over the others because I love his expression. Like, he is so in the moment.
Yeah.
He's not worried about the crowd, he's not worried about anything. Like, he is just enjoying what he's doing, and he's so good at it. So it was so fun to be able to capture that for him. Um, and concert lights are evil, okay? Stage lights, blue, purple, like they come off so bad on camera. That's partly why it's black and white. I can't lie. Sometimes I can't deal with like editing out and trying to make the skin tones look perfect. But
Yeah.
when I flipped this to black and white, I was like, oh no, this one's meant to be black and white.
I think
There's Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no. I was just gonna say. I think with where that I get what you mean. Like I've taken photos of people on stage a very small amount. Like being in a band myself, like I hate the amount of times that we do shows and we're just like, there's no one taking any photos. And so like occasionally I've gone and like I've shot I did a video a little while ago, like a behind the scenes of me like shooting music videos for a band.
I watched
And I've
that.
shot for them before. You say you watched that.
I watched that.
Yeah. You're like, he's doing this wrong, he's doing this
No,
wrong.
no, no, no. You did great.
That was the first time I'd ever done it. I brought the lights that you see there. I bought them that week. They came for that. So it's perfect.
You did
All
fantastic.
right. Well, I'm going to keep that little clip, and whenever I don't trust myself, it'll just be you going, "You did fantastic,"
You did
and I'm like, "Thanks."
fantastic.
Yeah, I needed that. Um, and yeah, I think like I know what you mean. Like we had uh, in that setup and in other ones, like they don't have like horrendous lighting like some of these do, where it's just like flying out everywhere and it's just ridiculously timed
Mhm.
and in different colors. But I think if if they hadn't have been if the light wasn't sitting the way the light was in this photo, then it wouldn't be anywhere near as good, if that makes sense. Like having the light
Yeah.
rays come through the haze and like having that perfect swoop down, I
Mhm.
think even if it had been good in color, it would always have been better like this,
Absolutely.
for
I
sure.
There is something about a black and white that, and I maybe will blame my mentor Keith Carter for this because he pretty much only ever posts or takes anything in black and white or sepia tone. But if the light, sometimes the light is the subject.
Hmm.
It's not Kenny is the literal subject here, but the light is such an important part of this photo that
Yeah.
having it black and white is what makes it profound. Like, what
Hmm.
makes it. And
Yeah.
you do lose that. It got lost in the color. The color wasn't that hard on this one. Like, it was just mainly blue, but it felt flat compared
Hmm.
to what it is black and white. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was 100% the right choice.
I do have people, not people, my friends, they do make fun of me though, because I do use black and white a lot. They're like,
It's
do you
okay.
do you shoot in color? Do you know what color is?
I I used to not like black and white, but now I find myself using it a bit more. I've always liked it. I think I started liking it more after I shot my first roll of black and white film,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I kind of understood like how good black and white can look. I'm not saying this like I shot an incredible 36 like loads of photos, but like
Right.
out of like the 36 I shot, 4 or 5 came out where just the lighting was like great and it was just right. And those 5 taught me everything that I needed to know about, well, not everything, but it taught me a lot about what I needed to know about when black and white works and
Yeah.
like how what kind of contrasting there should be, how the lighting should be, and everything like that
Mhm.
for it to make a good black and white photo. And now sometimes I will almost always shoot in color unless I'm like messing around with my X100 or the X half, where like I'll put it into the black and white, and then I'll like in the X100 I shoot JPEG and RAW. So if I don't like
Mhm.
it black and white, I've got it anyway. In the X half, it's all just JPEGs. But like
Mhm.
unless I'm doing that, I shoot everything color, and then
Right.
I'll change it later. But now there'll be images that are in color, and I the moment I see them, before I even start editing them, I'm like, this is a black and white photo. Like,
Yep.
I think black and white gets a bad rep because a lot of people will edit a photo, be like, it's not that great. They'll put it black and white and just be like, oh, that looks a bit better. And then they'll just be like, oh, yeah, I wanted it to be black and white. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time it's like an afterthought for people.
Yeah.
But
And
real photographers know when black and white makes sense.
so what I was taught is any photo you take, think of it like when you're shooting, like it's black and white. If your photo is properly exposed, then it should look right as a black and white. So if you switch it over to black and white and you lose your texture on your skin or whatever, like it's blown out, that's because you didn't properly expose. So that teaching comes from Loker in high school. We I don't know how my school was able to do this, but the first half of every year in school, we only shot black and white film. We
Damn.
were not allowed to use cameras like anything digital. We were only allowed to use film cameras.
Yeah.
Um, and so, one, we learned the process of film, like how to roll your film, how to develop it, how to print, all that stuff, which is important just in general. But it taught us like exposure, proper lighting, because like what you get is what you get. And if you
Yeah.
mess it up, and it's in black and white, of course. So like your darks are going to be either black and you're going to lose all the information there, or your whites are going to be so white you lose the information there. So
Yeah.
with that like teaching in the back of my head, I struggle because it makes me want everything to be black and white because I know it will look good in black and
Yeah.
white.
That makes sense though. Also, how much budget did your school have for film?
I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
guess it was definitely cheaper then than it is now, but like,
Yeah. But I do okay. We had okay, hold on. Let me remember this properly because it was we had like 30 kids per class. Sometimes as low as 10 though. Like depending on if you were in photo 1, 2, 3, or 4.
yeah,
But the photo like third year and fourth year photo kids, you were in charge of re-rolling film into canisters. Um I don't know how that works. I never understood what we were doing. That's like the one thing that I was like, why are we putting film back into the canisters? Because I'm pretty sure you can't reuse it. It's
yeah.
like, what are we doing? But I don't remember ever receiving new film. Like, shit, like, there was never like a box of new film for us. Like,
And unless what you were rolling, unless they bought in like bulk of films, and then it was like because some photographers do that now, where you can buy a bulk of 35 mil like reel, and then you have to roll it into its own canisters, so it's
that's,
cheaper to buy in bulk.
that's probably what we were doing. That
Yeah,
makes
so they
sense,
probably bought
actually.
a load of like unexposed, ready to use film, but it just comes in this massive like canister version,
Yeah.
like a big reel of it, and then you have to roll it yourself, which is better for you money wise. But obviously, it's just more of a pain. But if you've
Yeah.
got a load of school kids to do it for you, it's easier. Anyway, I've waffled way too much about other things. I want to look at your second photo.
Okay.
So this one goes out to everyone that takes the piss out of Paige for shooting only black and white. Because as you can see, this is all color. What's
Uh,
happening here? Talk to me.
so this is a shot from a short film that my husband and I did called She Loves Her John. It is out if you, well, the trailer is out if you want to see it. It's still in the film circuit, so you can't. like actually watch it anywhere yet. But
I will, after this, send me that link, and I will put that link in the description of this video.
okay,
So if anyone wants to go and see
totally.
the trailer, they can.
That sounds great. So this is the scene where he's like sitting outside Rosa's house, deciding if he's gonna go in to confront her, basically. And what's really fun is, yes, this is my photo because, yes, I am a photographer, but there is also a lot of creative direction that I got to do here. Specifically, throughout the whole film, like there is this dichotomy between the red and the green. Um, the red sometimes leans pink, sometimes it leans like this orangey red, because the colors are like a really big thing for the film. So Rosa is represented in the red. She's um, kind of like for lust, for anger. She's angry with herself for what she did, um, but she's still in love. So there's still like the love side of it as well. And then this is John, the character John. His green represents like jealousy for, again, what she did, and like sort of disgust. Uh, but eventually, like towards the end of the film, I guess this kind of spoils it, but they sort of reconcile with what happened, and so in the end, like the green fades out and it stays like oranges and reds and yellows towards the end. So there's a bit of creative direction that I got to do with that, specifically just in the lighting. That doesn't even count with like I had to do the wardrobe and I did all the set decorating. I did have an assistant, thankfully, but uh, the other half of it is the rain in this photo is not even real. We had a water hose. There was a guy, his name is Frack. He just stood there with a water hose and like his thumb on the side and made it
Yeah,
rain for the whole scene. And it looked great. I was
yeah,
really really happy with how it turned out.
it's great. It like I don't know, like, but I obviously I before now had no idea. I guessed it was knowing your backgrounds from some form of like short film or commercial or something like that. But I obviously didn't know what it was from. But like the colors make like full sense. Like it, just looking at his like emotion and like what like how he's reacting right now, like that makes 100%. It makes 100% sense.
I'm glad it
Good job.
comes through.
Yeah,
The
good job.
the bokeh on the side too. I forgot my prism. Normally I keep like a, oh, hey, that's something I have a lot, is like a little prism on a handle so I
Hmm.
can like create actually I think I did that on the stage photo too. But I when I forget it, I hold my camera up and I use my phone to
Hmm.
shoot light back into the lens, and that's what I was doing on that particular photo. Um
Nice.
that's what the red on the left is.
Yeah, I was going to ask like where that had come from, whether it was like just the way the angle was for the light, but then I saw where the red was kind of bouncing off the top, and I was just like, I don't think it is that. So that makes
Mm-mm.
that makes more sense now.
The secret is that behind that giant red orb is actually the camera that we're filming the scene
Okay.
with. So I didn't want
So
it
you're
in the
like, I'm going to
photo.
hide it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
gonna
going to
hide it.
hide it with some more light.
Yeah.
I keep saying that I'm going to use my phone to reflect stuff while in like street photography because I've seen recently people like having the phone laid out and then the camera sitting here and getting like a reflection of things.
Hmm.
And I think it looks really cool. And then what happens is I go outside and I don't do that, and I come back and I'm like, oh, that photo would look great if I'd done that.
Yeah.
And like I just never remember to do these things.
You can also like if you're wanting a reflection on like there's pavement or something, you just pour water and then
Yeah,
it's more like, I guess it makes more sense why you would have a reflection versus like, oh, that's somebody's phone sitting there. Like if you don't, it for me it's hard to get like a real reflection in a phone
yeah,
without showing that it's a phone.
yeah. I
Like,
think like I think it only works like all the times I've seen people do it. It's when they're like at somewhere with neon lights and it's at night, so
mm-hmm.
you can kind of like you're focusing up on the neon lights, the reflections there, the phone like is either often sideways, so you can't see the edges of it anyway.
Okay.
And if you can see any little edge, it's pretty easily removable. You
Mm.
know, like using the shop of photo. So it's not too terrible. But yeah, I've been out in London with photographers before, and they've been like, "Oh, here will be perfect," and they just pour a bottle of water on the floor. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. It's a great idea though.
That's one way to do it.
It is, yeah, and which is you don't often have to do it here because it rains most of the fucking time.
Yeah.
So normally we're okay. Normally we provide our own wet floors all the time. Um, normally the dry floors we can't get. Okay, let me have a look at this third
Okay.
photo. I like this third photo.
Thank you.
This is obviously from a set
Yes.
because of the light boxes,
Yeah. The
the amount of
Amarans at the
cabling.
top.
Yeah. Um, tell me about this. Tell me what it was from.
So
Tell me
this
everything.
is a shot from 10 West. It is a short film done by Shannon Chance. This is not one of our films. Um, I was donating my time on this. A lot of times, this is a sidestep. A lot of times when I'm doing BTS, it is just me going for fun. Like a lot of times I'm not getting paid. Sometimes I am, but um, it's just something that I enjoy. So a lot of times I am donating my time because having a BTS photographer is kind of frivolous. Um, it it can be important, you know, like you do want stuff to post on your social media to promote the film that you're doing, but a lot of times your budget it needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, those Amaran lights are not cheap, so
Yeah.
uh, in this case, I was donating my time, and I was really really glad that I did. This was a really awesome uh, shoot. It was uh, so stylistic for me. Like I have a lot of shots from this that I just really love because of the way that they lit the scenes. Um,
Yeah.
it wasn't even anything I was doing. Like I loved what they did on the film. Um, so this is like the very first scene. Uh, this one was a little hard for me when it came to editing, solely for the colors.
Hmm.
We're going back to the colors. Um, I played with the greens in this a lot. It was it either looked like sickly green or like a pea, like a pea green,
Hmm.
and I was never happy with it. And then I was like, let me just bump up the vibrancy. And I was like, oh, that's my problem. There's not enough color. um, but it was a really, really fun shoot. Um, this is an example of more of like a big picture behind the scenes photo. And
Yeah.
the second photo with the red and green, that's more of a small a, a small moment version of what I do.
One thing, first of all, I'm going to point out to everyone that that's not a book he's putting away in his pocket.
No,
It's a gun.
it's a gun.
Because I thought it was a book. I was like, oh,
It's a
that's nice.
prop
He's got a
gun.
nice notepad with him. Nope, he has a deadly weapon. I love the green though. It's such a, it's one, it's like a great, the way you've edited it for that green is a great choice,
Thank
but
you.
it just really pulls like it it really like sets the background nicely for everything else. Like it contrasts really heavily against like the wooden countertop
Mm.
and the more like like the neutral earthy tones of the guy,
Hmm.
and then also just like the bright yellowness of like the waitress's top. Like it's a really good choice of color.
I
Congrats on
wanted it
finding the
to.
vibrancy slider.
Thank you. I wanted it to feel like film, and generally
Hmm.
anything I shoot, I'm trying to replicate the feeling, like the warmth and tone of film. Um, and the thing is, there's so many different kinds of film that you can go any way. Like the same
Yeah.
going back to the first photo, like that softness that there is to that concert shot. Like I wanted it to feel like that, and I'm glad it came out that way. But um, especially because I shoot on a Fuji film, like the grain in a Fuji body, like I keep it on fine most of the time, uh, because I think it's just like the perfect grain. Um, and I think it all works and blends really nicely in this photo. And I wanted it to give it like that nostalgic feel because like the waitress is sort of in like a more retro style waitress outfit. Like the cafe
Yeah.
itself was very retro. So I wanted it to fit the time that the photo looks like. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That
feel
makes
like if
sense.
it was like crisp digital clean tones, it would just kind of be boring.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it worked out.
Yeah, I think it did. Like, one of the things that I love about this photo is when I first looked at it, it took me a good 30 seconds to a minute or more to even notice the lighting because there's like so much going on. I'm using this hand like anyone can see what I'm pointing at.
I know I was
Um,
looking over here talking, and I was like, I'm not looking at the camera. My bad.
where there is like so much going in that lower half of the frame, you
hmm
look at it for so long and you assume that the lighting above is the same as like the neon lighting or like the kitchen lighting above her
Uh
head,
huh.
but then you look up and you're like, oh, it's a set.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't know it, you wouldn't instantly think it, which is only like a credit to the way you've edited it because those lights are large and very bright. So like if the editing of the actual main scene hadn't been interesting and the colors didn't pop correctly, your eye would instantly be drawn to the bright things at the very top of the scene.
hmm
And instead you're just like, what's that guy got in his hand? Like this, what is this woman mid doing? Okay, she's wiping this down. There's the pops of the reds against the green with the cups.
hmm
You're looking at all the signs and then you go, oh, the stage lighting. Well, congrats, it's a really good image.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
I enjoyed this set, and I think with this set in particular, I feel like that's how a lot of the photos feel. Um, and I would accredit a lot of it to specifically how talented like their gaffers were because the light was just always gorgeous. Um, and sometimes like on film sets, what I'm trying to photograph in a scene may not be lit the way I would want it. Obviously, because I'm not in charge of that. Like I'm just
yeah,
documenting what's there. But it's also because I'm not always documenting the main subject of the scene. Like sometimes
yeah,
I'm getting
yeah, that makes
detail
sense.
shots or whatever, but I felt like on this set, every time I was taking a photo, I was not I was never thinking, "Oh, I wish this was lit a little differently." No, it's exactly what felt right.
I really want to. There's a couple of groups like near me that do like short films and stuff, and I'm generally very tempted to be like, "Hey, I'm happy to do this for free, but like, can I just come get some behind the
You
scenes stuff?"
should. You should.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's very akin to street photography. I feel
yeah,
like they're
yeah. I bet.
definitely hand in hand, so I feel like you would probably really enjoy
Well, maybe I'll give it a try.
it.
Well, I'm glad that I chose those three photos because I think they're really good. So well done me. Um, Now these next bits are things that I can't help you with, and you just have to answer.
Oh
I
gosh.
have
Okay.
these questions gets asked to everyone. So,
Okay.
are you ready?
No. Go for
Ta,
it. Go
here they
for it.
come. You only had to if you could only use one type of lens moving forwards. Would you prefer prime or zooms?
Zoom.
Okay. I feel like I know the answer to this question and this next one. And if you don't answer with what I am expecting, I will be properly dumbfounded. Black
Okay.
and white or color?
Black and white.
Yeah, okay, cool. If you said color, I'd have been like, hang up the call now. I don't even know if this is going to work. Um, Sunrise or golden hour?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, this is the one that normally some people just go sunrise because I don't stay up late and or vice versa. But
Oh,
most people are like, I
they're
don't
so
know.
different but so similar. I'll go golden hour. I'll go golden hour.
Okay, that would be my choice. That would always be
Mm.
my choice. And if money was no object, what would be your dream camera?
Okay. I This is hard. I
The
I
sheer
know
panic.
I think I know more of like okay, I don't have good knowledge on gear. So I'm not going to be
Okay.
able to give you like X, Y, and Z.
I, I
But
will. I'll put your mind at ease. People have answered this. Some people have been like this model, this lens.
uh-huh.
A lot of people have said, well, what I want, I don't know if it exists, but it would have this, 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 and
Uh
this. So whatever you say, you're good.
well, I love Fujifilm, so I don't mind like doing an upgraded version, like maybe more megapixels than what I have or just something upgraded in that sense. But I really love my X-T3. What I would want is cinema quality lenses to shoot stills on. I think
Okay.
that
Yeah.
look is so cool. There's some people on Instagram that I follow that use cinema quality lenses, but for their
Hmm.
photography, not for film. It's sick. It's so sick. And
Yeah.
I think that that is something that would upgrade like what I specifically do to a whole nother level.
Hmm.
So I would just spend a bunch of money on lenses more than anything.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
One of the guys whose episode, as of time of recording, comes out in 2 days' time. He has some Sirui anamorphic lenses,
Yeah.
and he uses that a lot for videography stuff. He's got like I think it's a 16 to 24 and a 35 mil. They're like T 1.7s.
Yeah.
Um, but he has also taken them out just to do street photography with, and it has this like really unique look.
Yeah.
And I think for what you do, like especially with things like the last photo we looked at, like having that look would be so sick.
Yeah. I the first time I used like any quality lens was on a BTS for a Powderhorn, which was a short film that was I paid my way to go to Austin to do BTS on this for free. Like I paid anyway. They did let me use their Zeiss lenses. They had an entire Zeiss lens kit, and just that jump of quality from what I had to not cinema, but still like they're good thick pieces of glass in those lenses. It
Yeah.
it changed so much. So now that I'm shooting on something that's more like that, having that next step up one more time, like I just feel like that would be so sick. And
Yeah.
it would change everything, I think.
Well, do it. Just do it. All right. Just
I gotta get the
who
money.
needs
What are you
money?
talking
Who
about?
needs money? Just spend everything you have. It'll be fine. Just think how good it would look. I mean, one thing that will help with that is I'm going to give you a minute or two to just fully sell yourself to the internet of where
Oh,
people can find you. So I
okay.
know you have. I know obviously like your studio has a website and things like that. I will put all of this information in the description.
Okay.
And if you forget anything now and you tell me later, I'll also put that in the description. But
Okay.
for now, the floor is yours. Where can people find you?
Okay. So you can find me personally at Pooj Rivero on Instagram. We do have an Instagram for Burned Out, but I'm really bad at updating it. But it is just Burned Out Studio. And then our website is burnedoutstudio.com. And I just did a whole rebrand on the website. So it's brand spanking new. Got all kinds of new stuff on there. And that has all of our short films that we've done. It has BTS from short films that I've shot. There's headshots and more like fine art photography that I do on there. So anything that you would want to see from me is going to be on Burned Out Studio. And the same applies to my husband. So like all of his film work is on there as well. Um, we have a Facebook if you're interested in hearing more about like what awards our films have won. So all that information is really on Facebook, um, which is just Burned Out Studio. Everything's just Burned Out Studio or Pooj Rivero. I've got a Pinterest
Brilliant.
if you want to go on Pinterest.
I actually have already seen. I'm not going to say much because I want people to go see it. But I've already seen your revamp of your site because I obviously when we like first met and spoke and stuff, and you
Mm,
told me about it, I went and checked it out, and that was obviously like probably like a year ago.
yeah.
And then in the lead up to this, I was like, oh, I'll just like check out the site quickly, and I saw how like different it was. Like, I literally checked it out. I think like earlier today or last night. Like it looks really good.
Thank you.
It
That's my
looks really
other
good.
thing. I make websites. I don't. I just made ours and it was so stressful. And then every year I look at it and I go, oh no, we should hire a professional.
I feel your pain. I'm trying to. I I've started making a website for like
Good.
three kind of portfolios to have like my street travel and then like car photography,
Mm-hmm.
but also use the like blog feature of the website to just document recent projects that I've been part of
Yeah.
or recent jobs that I've done so that anyone that wants to kind of see what I'm about can see jobs that I've completed in different areas and
Mm-hmm.
also just quickly see like what kind of photography I do. And yeah, that sucks. I have done a little bit of it. It is technically live. It is technically in my link tree. It is nowhere
Oh,
nearly finished. I need to. I just threw photos in there to make sure that what I was doing worked, but
yeah.
now I need to go through and do them all. I still need to update. I've done two more projects since, like the band videos and
Mm-hmm.
also the opening of a pizza place,
Oh,
and I haven't
that
put
video was really
any of
cool.
them.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed
that was
that a
fun.
lot. Those were some beautiful photos.
Thanks. That
Yeah.
was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And I was just like, yeah, of course I'm going to say yes. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, that's been the fun thing this year. Is like, I made the channel to like show me growing as a photographer more than anything. And then what I really did was just go out and take a load of photos that weren't of any risk at all and didn't really push myself. And then this year that changed because like I shot those like surprise proposal photos, and it's the
Mm-hmm.
most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life.
It is. I've only
Like,
done one, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out. It's not even my
yeah,
proposal, but I'm gonna pass out. I don't think I can handle
honestly,
this.
if she'd said no, I would have been sick. Like, I was I you can so like the lead up to, I did a behind the scenes video for it, and like, well, a video of me like I went and took some photos in the area and stuff like that, and then I checked with the guy beforehand, and he was happy for me to use a couple of photos and to use a little bit of like behind the scenes from like a chest cam,
Mhm.
and so I shot about 15 seconds, which is all you really get to get the right photo, right?
Yeah.
And I shot those 15 seconds. Well, I shot about 5 minutes. The moment I saw them, I turned it on, and then I obviously was just, it was, most of it was just me sitting, waiting to appear. Um, but I watched it back, and just where it cuts is where I like move around and get more photos and stuff. But on the original footage, you just see my hand like this. When I let go of my camera for a second, my hand was just shaking. And I was just
Yeah.
like, nope, 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 come on.
It's
And then I just like
nerve-wracking.
carried on.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel that way for like those type of like surprise proposals. I get that way for concerts sometimes because if I know like okay, well there's going to be this particular lighting sequence at this time in this song and
Yeah.
I'm like okay, I know I have to get that. Like that's something that they've requested or whatever. It stresses me out because I'm like I'm going to
Mhm.
miss it even though I'm right here waiting. I'm going to miss it somehow. And I don't do weddings for that reason. Like
Yeah.
it's
I
so
couldn't
much
do it.
going on. I am not putting myself through that. Unless
No.
you give me 2 shooters, not just me, but I get 2 extra shooters because I'm literally so stressed at a wedding. It's not
Yeah.
happening.
I think I would. I've always, because I've been asked by friends if I would like shoot at their weddings and stuff. And I've always said, if you hire a photographer, I will be second photographer. Like if
Mhm.
you hire a wedding photographer, and they get all of like the photos,
Yep.
like all of the guest photos, your photos. I'll be there. I'll get other angles. I'll get all of the like candid sick shots that you
Yep.
look back and like they're not the clean ones. They're just the ones that people having a fucking great time at your wedding.
Mhm.
That's effectively street photography in a confined area, right? So
Exactly.
I'm fine with that. And
Yeah.
it's one of the things that makes me most happy that like I wouldn't call myself a street photographer because I don't it's not like the only thing I do. It's not my like biggest passion, but it is the like niche of photography that got me into taking photos. So that's why
Mhm.
there's always like a street-esque version of like most of my photography.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that that's what I learned first, or that's the kind of thing that I learned out in public because I will die on this hill that if you are going to learn photography, the first thing you should do is learn to shoot street
Yeah.
because it prepares you for anything happening at any time.
Mhm.
And then if that's not your vibe, fine. Like obviously shooting anywhere else, like in studios, everything like that, you have to understand like exposure triangle and lighting. And if you're in a studio, you have to understand how you set up the lighting.
Mhm.
They're all key skills that like I'm not trying to undervalue. But if you shoot in a studio and then you go shoot somewhere else and you're not in control of everything, that's a whole different world.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you learn to shoot like street vibes first of all, and you're not in control of anything except for the camera in your hand, if I hadn't come from that world and someone said, "Can you shoot my surprise proposal?" I'd have been like, "No." What
Yeah.
do I do if someone walks in the frame? What do I
Yeah.
do? Like, and instead I was like, if it's cloudy, I'll change to these settings. If it's sunny, I'll do these settings. Like, I just
Mhm.
knew what I needed to do. I had to clear an elderly couple out of the park when they came in.
Oh
I
my
could see them
word.
coming, and I was like, "Hi, really nice to meet you." But that couple that just walked in, he's going to propose to her. And she went, "Oh, that's lovely." I was like, "It is lovely. But if we could talk about this later, I really need you to not be here so I can get this shot." And they were like, "Okay." They left, nearly said something on the way out. And I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And they just left. And then the other two came in. And I was like,
Thank goodness.
okay. I was like, I do not need this extra stress. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
already sweating. My hands are already like this. Like,
I'm already clammy.
yeah, I'm dropping the camera. The camera's shaking. Thank God for IBIS, right? If I had no
Yeah.
IBIS in that camera, it would have been horrendous.
Yeah. No, the exposure triangle thing, I just remember this and it always like blows my mind. But again, in high school where I started my training, one of the tests, we would have monthly tests on specifically uh exposure triangle. And it would work this way. It would be a paper test and it would have question 1. You are outside shooting a portrait under a tree in the shade. There's dappled lighting on your portrait, on your subject.
Yeah.
It's sunny out, but there are clouds. You want to shoot at this, like, and you fill in the blank. This shutter speed, this ISO, this aperture. And you had to get it exactly right. Like, there was no allowing, like, oh, if you knew, like, if my ISO is going to be at 400, or if you were like, no, I want my ISO to be at 800, like you had to know the exposure compensation difference for that. It was so stressful, but it is the only reason that I am able to shoot in manual for everything I do now. I'm
Yeah.
thankful for it. But it was like, what? Why? I don't know, 14? What are you asking me this for? Why do I need to know this?
I I wish I knew it better. I know enough to know the ballpark area I should be in, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And then I can tune it on the fly. But like most of the time I shoot aperture priority,
Yeah.
like for nearly everything. And then when I do shoot in manual, I will still have auto exposure and I will just shoot and change. What I'll normally do because of what I'm trying to shoot normally, and like I did this a bit at a like amusement park slash where like Christmas market that I was at the weekend.
Mhm.
I knew that I didn't want my shutter speed to have to drop below a certain bit. Or
Yeah.
I didn't want it to go too low, and so I was shooting manual. And then I was like, right, I don't mind. I've got my like max and min of my ISO that I know I'm not going to get too grainy results in. So I was like, right, this is where this needs to be. I'll just change the aperture because I'm not looking for any like really creamy backgrounds in these shots. Like
Mhm.
I'll set them to what I had. Now my lens was an f2.8, so I knew I could go quite far that way and still be good.
Right.
Um, and so like that wasn't too bad. But like if I had to make too many quick adjustments, I would just fold under the pressure. And I think like what like in the episode that I did with Chris, the way he put it of like he treats shooting manual digital like he's shooting film, where he
Mhm.
just locks himself into one ISO,
Yep.
and it's just like, cool. In here is 200, or out there is 200. In here is 800, and
Yep.
so when I move in, I just change it to that, and then I know where I'm going to be, and I'm just like, that's just a really cool way of thinking about it. Like I'd never done it that way before. I might have to
Yeah.
give it a try.
I will always try to keep my ISO as low as possible. Um, but I do obviously give myself grace with it because it is digital. So
Hmm.
the ISO is not going to be as insane as it would be if it was film. So there's also some what is it, like AI noise reduction stuff in Lightroom that
Yeah,
if I have to some reason push my stuff that crazy, like it's not that big of a deal. But I do the same. Like I'll keep it as low as possible, and then as I'm going in and out or going to a shadow shaded area or bright light, I will already have in my brain like, okay, well, I need to have my shutter at this, my aperture at this, or
yeah,
just preset in my brain. But
yeah. That's a talent I do not have, and I commend you on it.
thank you.
Um, one last question I think I have for you is
Okay.
when you, just because I hadn't thought about it really until right now. When you shoot concert stuff, what is your kind of like exposure triangle settings looking like? Because I'm guessing to a point you have to push the ISO a bit because it's so dark
Yeah.
for the majority of the time, or you're being blasted by a stage light and there's no in between.
Right. So generally, when I'm shooting a concert, if it's like a regular stage concert, because sometimes there's like day outside outdoor concerts and stuff, so that obviously
Yeah,
changes things. But like on a dark stage, I do have to push my ISO quite a bit, which is not my favorite thing. But for the bands that I've generally been shooting, it works because they're more like punk or rock or whatever you want to call that
yeah,
genre. So it works. Like it works for the photos. But what I try to do is use the upper state, like the upper lights on the trusses up there. I'll try to use that as hair lights. So I'll put it behind their head. So one, I don't get blasted with light directly into my camera lens. It prevents
yeah,
that from happening. Two, I get separation from the
yeah,
background and the subject. Um, and three, like a lot of times we like color, we do, even though I talk kind of bad about it. It does give like a really cool color halo around their head. And then generally you do get a fill from the front stage lights, or
yeah,
if they have a spotlight at that moment, or there's the thing is the lighting is always changing on stage because they move, and visually it's very appealing if you're sitting there watching the concert. As a
yeah,
photographer, it just stresses you out. But it can also make for some like really really cool moments, and similar to street photography, like the idea of like you don't have control. There is controlled lighting sort of,
yeah,
but it's not control. You have no control over what they're going to do, what color, what position they're going to be in. So you just kind of have to go with the flow. So generally I'll bump that ISO up and then bump my shutter speed up. I prefer a clean, uh, crisp shot for concerts. I've seen some super cool, like motion blurred, low shutter work.
yeah,
I am so bad at it. Like I can't do that. I love it. I've tried and I've failed. It's just something I need to work on. So I normally probably would look at it more the way you said you look at street photography, and like really focus on like what my shutter speed's at to ensure that like I catch the right moment,
Yeah,
and then deal with the graininess, possibility of graininess in Lightroom later.
makes sense. Makes sense. Well, thank you very much for being a guest.
Thanks for
It's
having
been a
me.
delight to have you on. Um, yeah, I thought like as when I was kind of putting together a list of people that I thought would be good on the podcast, your name popped into my head, and I'm glad I was right. So
Well,
yeah, thank you very much for coming on. And I'm hoping it wasn't as nerve wracking as you
it,
secretly thought it was going to be.
I've been very stressed out this entire time. I don't think I've looked at the camera, but like maybe twice. Um, I was very scared, but I think it was a lot easier than I expected. And I think you're great at conversation. Like you're a good conversationalist, so it worked out very well. I'm thankful for your rock in this situation. Does that
Well,
make
I appreciate it. With compliments like that, if it turns out to be the truth, maybe this podcast has a future.
it is the truth. I would not lie to you.
Well, as I say, thank you very much for being on. Everyone should go check out your stuff, your husband's stuff, the studio stuff, and all of the short films. I am literally going to go watch the trailer after this because I haven't seen it, and that makes me a bad friend. Um,
No.
so yeah, thank you very much for being on, and to everyone that has watched slash listened, thank you very much for doing so. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.